Ready to upgrade your coffee game? Whether you're a drip coffee devotee, a cold brew lover, or an espresso enthusiast, this video reveals the top 5 best coffee makers of 2025 that deliver cafe-quality brews right in your kitchen. Okay friends, let's see top 5 best coffee makers review.
Number 1.
OXO Brew 8-Cup Coffee Maker. I've been testing this OXO model for a couple of months now and like it just as much as the Bonavita. I'll continue to use it going forward, too, to make sure it holds up over time. It's just as simple to use. You turn it on, then select from 2 different settings, more on that in a moment. The machine automatically shuts off when finished. This takes a few minutes, but you can also turn it off manually if you prefer. One setting is for brewing 5 to 8 cups of coffee into an insulated carafe, which is what I primarily use. The carafe has a tiny valve hole in the lid so that the coffee brews directly into the otherwise covered vessel, as opposed to the Bonavita, which has a larger, fully open top that you cover after it's done. It traps heat and aromatics better, says Noah McEwen, a general manager at Go Get 'Em Tiger in Los Angeles. But there's also an insert filter that allows you to brew 2 to 4 cups of coffee instead of 5 to 8, which you can do directly into a mug for a single cup. The process is basically the same. You fill the chamber with the amount of water you want and add the corresponding amount of grounds. Then you just have to remember to slide the tab on the carafe over to the image of a mug and select the clearly marked button to start. In this case, the machine pulses out less water at a time and there's a bit more agitation when it hits the ground beans. Like the Bonavita, it's almost like making a pour-over but in your automatic coffee maker, McEwen says. For recipe developer and cookbook author Salma Dada, having such a range is a huge plus. In the morning I'll brew a larger pot, but then in the afternoon when I need to chill a bit on caffeine and only want a cup, I'll use that setting, she says. The maker has a pedestal you can flip up so your mug sits closer to where the coffee comes out to avoid splashing.
Number 2.
The Technivorm Moccamaster was the second most recommended coffee maker by the experts I spoke with for this story. It's pricey, but those who use it say it's worth the premium if you want to invest in the best equipment out there. Like the Bonavita connoisseur, the Moccamaster has stable temperature control and even brewing. Suyog Modi, founder of Driftaway Coffee, explains that while the brewing mechanics are similar to those used in less expensive drip coffee makers, the Moccamaster is made with better parts and solid construction. I've been using it daily for years with zero issues. It's just no fuss. And honestly, it looks good on the kitchen counter. That's one point on which John Gourley, the frontman of Portugal the Man, agrees. Not only does it look amazing, but it's just a drip-style coffee maker that's probably the thing we use the most in our house. While the design is certainly appealing and the construction quality means it should last for a long time, the experts wouldn't endorse this coffee maker if it didn't also make a quality drink. I taste coffee from all types of brewers, and this one gives a consistently better cup, says Jim Munson, founder and president of Brooklyn Roasting Company. Ale Walsh, co-founder of Los Angeles' Canyon Coffee, agrees, noting how smooth the brew comes out every time. There could be some science behind that. It has 9 holes or orifices instead of 1, so the water spreads out over the whole area of a coffee filter. Plus the heater works very fast. You get coffee much faster, says Bill Nye, the science guy, who makes his coffee in this machine. Another innovation he points out is the funnel shape of the lid, which greatly reduces the evaporation rate while the thing's sitting there on the burner. Why doesn't every machine have this? Gerard Morrison, co-founder and co-CEO of Sight Glass in San Francisco, is also a fan of the Technivorm but prefers a slightly different model. His favorite has all the same attributes, but instead of dispensing your coffee into a glass carafe on top of a burner plate, it goes into a stainless steel thermal one, just like the connoisseur. It keeps coffee plenty hot for several hours, he says, without changing the flavor or making it taste burnt. This thermal carafe model only comes in neutral colors, but the glass has a bunch of shades to choose from.
Number 3.
Bonavita 8-Cup Coffee Maker. The Bonavita connoisseur has been my everyday coffee maker for a year now. I gave it the best-in-class badge because it satisfies the ideal coffee maker trifecta. It's simple to use, available at an approachable price point, and most crucially, makes delicious coffee. I simply measure grounds and pour water into their respective chambers the night before, so in the morning, all I have to do is click the on button. Even when making a full pot, it brews in just a few minutes. And when I go back for my second or third cup, the insulated stainless steel carafe has kept the coffee plenty warm without heating from below and making it taste burnt. The coffee this machine delivers is delicious. I've used everything from fancy small batch beans sourced from a local coffee shop to Dunkin' Donuts pre-ground, and without fail, I find myself sipping on a smooth and balanced cup. To figure out why it works so well, I tapped a couple of professionals who also love the machine. One key reason is its ability to brew at the proper temperature. According to Ken Nye, owner of 9th Street Espresso, few coffee makers consistently bring water to that 198 to 202 degree range, which he calls the broadly agreed upon standard. As Nye explains, the connoisseur also maintains that temp throughout the brewing process. The smoothness is thanks to its flat-bottomed basket that spreads the grounds out evenly, says George Howell, owner and founder of George Howell Coffee, as well as the shower-like spout that ensures consistent water distribution and extraction.
Number 4.
Nespresso Vertuo Plus Coffee and Espresso Maker. If you're interested in a simple pod-based machine, this Nespresso also turns out single servings of espresso and coffee. Textile designer Caroline Hurley and clothing designer Alex Crane, both coffee fanatics, have used it every day for a few years and love it because it's just so easy, Hurley says. You simply place a pod into the slot at the top and click a single button. The maker heats up and brews in seconds, then automatically deposits the used pod in a container in the back to empty and recycle, with some specific guidelines. Crane says he appreciates that it only produces 1 cup at a time so he can watch his consumption. He also notes that it makes a gentle sound, unlike some others that sound so loud and sinister. Hurley, meanwhile, says it tastes just as fresh as when you grind your own beans and appreciates that the company offers a wide variety of flavors in a tester pack, like jelly beans but for coffee, so you can decide what you like best.
Number 5.
OXO Good Grips Cold Brew Coffee Maker. Cold brew makers are not exactly plug-in electric coffee makers, but they're important nonetheless, especially for iced coffee year-round people. This one is a favorite of Dennis No, chef and co-owner of Brooklyn restaurant D&D. I got hooked on the smoothness and low acidity of cold brewed coffee, says No. It lets me tinker with different beans and concentrations. It also stacks for storage, which is an absolute requirement for my tiny New York apartment. Michael Phillips, director of content and copy at Blue Bottle, recommends the Toddy cold brew system, a similarly priced model that he's been using for nearly 2 decades in his own home. It's a little over twice the size, 67 ounces instead of 32, but that's something he appreciates. He brews the concentrate once a week or so and is able to drink 1 to 2 cups a day from that amount before he has to start the process over. He's also partial to the paper filters. The maker includes 3 to start that you can replenish. While they aren't reusable like the stainless steel, fine mesh strainer that comes as part of the OXO, he says that they produce a much cleaner cup with absolutely no grit.
Thanks for watching.